So hey guys, I'm Sid and today we are going to discuss problem number 9 on leetcode, which is palindrome number. So it is an easy level question and let's see what the statement is saying. So we have our statement: given an integer x, return true if x is a palindrome and false otherwise. Okay, so first of all we will know what is a palindrome number. So a palindrome number is a number like if we input that number and we'll reverse it, then we are going to have the same number. Like let's see this example. We have our input x equals to 1 to 1, and if we reverse this number, then again we'll get 1 to 1. So these type of numbers are palindrome number. Like here's the explanation that 1 to 1 reads as 1 to 1 from left to right and from right to left. Okay. So what are the numbers that are not palindrome? Any negative number is not a palindrome number because when we reverse it, we are not getting the same number. Okay. And example number 3 is saying input x equals to 10 and we are getting output false. Why? Because first of all, when we read it from right to left and left to right, it is not the same number. And the second logic is like any number that ends with 0 is not a palindrome number. Okay. So now let's code. Okay, so we have already given our function here, which is bool is palindrome, and so is palindrome is our function and it contains integer x. Okay, so how we will write our code? First of all, we will give our condition for the numbers which are not palindrome. Okay, so we will apply if condition so that the numbers which are not palindrome returns false. Okay, so we will write if x is less than 0 or will keep this condition in parentheses. Okay, so if x is less than 0 or x modulus 10 equals to 0, and one more condition in the same parenthesis, which is going to be AND operator x not equals to 0. So why we have given this condition? So let's break it down. X less than 0 means x should not be negative. X modulus 10 equals to 0. It means any number that ends with 0 is not a palindrome. And now this x should not be equal to 0 means in the same parenthesis we have write these two conditions, means single 0 digit we cannot consider it as not a palindrome. Any number that ends with 0 is not a palindrome. A 0 as a single digit we cannot consider is that it is not a palindrome, right? That's why we have given this condition also. Now we all know the logic for reversing a number, so the same logic applies here also. Like what is a palindrome number? We reverse it and we get the same number. So the logic of reversing applies here also, and we return our reversed number, and if it is going to be equals to the same number that we had in our input, then the return is going to be true, and if it is not, then it is going to be false. So I'm going to write the code for reversing a number and we're going to explain it on A4 sheet. Okay, so don't worry about it if you are not getting it right. Here one more thing, we have not returned our value here. So after this if condition, it will return false if this condition matches, right? Okay. Now we will write our condition for reversing a number. So how we reverse a number? We take an variable and will declare it as integer type and initialize it to 0. We'll take int, let's take rev, and we'll initialize it to 0. Okay. Now the line of code for reversing is going to be rev equals to rev multiply by 10 plus x modulus 10. This is our code for reversing a number, right? And after this line we need to update the value of x, which is going to be x x divide equals to 10. So this is how we'll update the value of x, and this is our logic for reversing a number. Now one more thing, like we haven't given the condition like till what value our this condition works, like how many times we have to apply this logic. So we will apply a while loop here, which is going to be while x is greater than rev. Okay, so we have written here x is greater than rev because till our value becomes, like value means the updated value becomes less than our reversed number, till then our while loop will execute. Why we are using this condition, I'll explain you in the A4 sheet. And so let's move for the explanation part. Okay. Okay, so we have written our logic, which is while x is greater than rev, we will write int rev equals to 0. So one more thing, this initialization of rev is not going to be after while loop. Okay, it should be before while loop. So we will write it here, right here. Okay, so here it is going to be int rev equals to 0, right? So our logic is rev equals to rev into 10 plus x modulus 10, and we will update the value of x equals to 10. So let's take a number. Okay, suppose we are taking the number 121. It will go in the if condition and it will check if this number is negative or not. So yes, this number is not negative, and then the other condition will apply, like first of all this is our x, and the next condition is going to be if x modulus 10 equals to 0. So let's check if 121 modulus 10 equals to 0 or not. So yes, after doing modulus with 10, the value is not going to be 0. So yes, the second condition is also not applicable here, and x should not be equals to 0. Okay, it is valid here. So this number is not returning false, so this number will go in the while loop. Now we'll apply this logic for this number. So our rev is 0, right? So 0 multiply by 10 plus x modulus 10. So if we will do modulus of 1 to 1 with 10, we'll be getting, like, let's do it. Okay, we are doing 1 to 1 with 10. So we'll be getting this, right? 1. Modulus mean returning remainder. So let's write it here. We'll be getting 0 multiplied by 10 plus 1, and it will be get stored in rev, which is going to be 1. Okay, so now this is our value of rev, right? Now we'll update the value of x. So when we'll divide 1 to 1 with 10, we'll be getting 12. Division neglects the last digit. Okay, so if 1 to 1 gets divided by 10, then we will be getting 12 as the quotient, and we have to write the value of x as 12. So x is going to be 12. This is the updated value of x. Okay, now this condition will go in this while loop. Okay, so let's check if our x is greater than rev or not. So is 12 is greater than 1? Yes. So this will execute again. Okay, so again we'll divide 12 with 10. So after doing modulus of 12 with 10, we'll be getting, what we'll get? We'll getting 2, right? So this is the new value of okay, now we'll be getting modulus with 10 equals to 2. Now we'll have to do one more operation. So earlier we have got our rev equals to 1. So rev is going to be 1 into 10 plus 2. So the new value of rev is going to be 12. And the updated value of x is going to be, when we divide 12 with 10, we'll be getting 1 as the quotient, means it will neglect 2. So now this x will again go to this while loop. So let's check if our x is greater than our rev or not. So is 1 is greater than 12? No. Our loop will terminate and we'll move forward to our code. So this was the whole logic for reversing a number and checking if it is going to be a palindrome number or not. We have applied this logic, which is x is greater than rev, then we have to follow our while loop. This This condition has been applied for a special purpose which I am going to discuss in our further code. Okay, so now let's get back to our screen. So yes, we are back with our screen, and this initialization of rev is going to be here, and we'll remove it from here. Okay, we'll close this loop now. So if our while loop will execute, then we'll return, then our return is going to be return x equals to rev or x double equals to rev divide by 10. Okay, so why we are using it, like why we are applying or condition here, like x double equals to rev or x double equals to rev divide by 10. So this condition is for even palindrome, like even number, and this condition is for odd number of palindrome. Like for our example, we had taken 1 to 1 as the value of x, so this is odd palindrome. In odd palindrome, we neglect the middle value, like it gives symmetry, and that's why we neglect the middle value, and that's why we are using rev divide by 10 here for odd number of palindrome. And this is simple, like this is for even number of palindrome. If x equals to rev, then it will return true. Okay, so let's now discuss why we are using this condition, like x should be greater than rev to execute our while loop, till our while loop will execute. So let's say our number is 1 to 1, and after reversing we will be getting 1 to 1, 1 to 1, and it is a palindrome number. Okay, and according to this logic we'll be getting our reverse rev equals to, let's say 12, and the updated value of x is going to be 1. So here our x is less than our reversed value, so now the loop will terminate. Like this is odd number palindrome, and if we divide it in symmetry, like if we'll neglect this middle value, then we'll be getting our reversed number, right? So we need not to reverse the whole number. Like if we are taking x equals to 13531, so we need not to reverse the whole number. We'll just reverse this last two digits, and if this last two digit after reversing is going to be equal with this updated value of x, like after applying this logic, okay, after applying this logic we must be getting our updated value of x is going to be 13, and rev is going to be 135, right? So this is an odd number palindrome, so we'll divide our rev by 10, so we will divide our rev by 10. Okay, so after dividing it we'll be getting our rev 13, right? So clearly here our x is equals to ref, right? So we need not to reverse the whole number of palindrome. If we are reversing the last digits after the middle value and comparing it with the first digits before the middle value, and if it is going to be equal, then it is going to be our palindrome number, right? So now let's run our code and see if it is right or not. So yes, the case 1 is accepted, case 2 is accepted, and case 3 is accepted. Okay, now we'll submit our code. So yes, our code is submitted and it is correct. So we'll meet in our next video. Till then, bye.